Hello and welcome to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast on the Box Office Buzz 302 channel. I am Gilly Rosari. That is my main man, Larry Loper. We are coming to you on this Tuesday. What is it, June 17th? Oh, by the way, early happy Juneteenth. In case I don't see you and talk to you, whatever, happy Juneteenth, which is 2 days from now, June the 19th. Which I believe is also the same day of the O.J. Simpson uh, Bronco chase. I think that happened June 19th.
Oh my goodness,
June
happened
19th too.
on.
Oh man, he tried to ruin it for you guys, man.
Yes, he did, man.
He tried to ruin it for you. But anyway, we were on hiatus last week. As I had said 2 weeks ago, I'm not sure we're going to be on every week for the summer because it's going to get kind of light and we don't want to just, I don't want to say bore you, but have a, 20-minute show because we're just going to be talking about WWE or something like that. So when the content's not there, we're either going to change it up because it doesn't always have to be sports, or we'll just wait a following week and hopefully there's enough content within 2 weeks. We're not going to try and make a habit out of that, but I did warn you last summer, that would happen a few times, which it did, and it's already happened a couple of times this year. NHL is getting ready to end. The NBA is getting ready to end, so we're not really going to have to talk about that after next week for quite a while, and we're going to be over a month away from training camp with the NFL. So, basketball, football, that's the meat and potatoes of our show. So we're going to have to talk movies and television, and do some more top 10 lists. We got one in the works. Already talked to Matt about it from Matt's Monday review. And and check out other content. Larry's going to be posting some music on there. Maybe get one of his songs as our outro for this podcast. I think that would be pretty dope. But yeah, we'll have other content, trying to bring in more shows and things like that. So we're it's a hopping and a bopping, kind of making this thing go. But for right now, you're tuned into the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast. So let's get into it. NHL, NBA are the big things right now. But before that, on Sunday was the PGA's third major. This was the U.S. Open, which the final round is always on Father's Day, and we had an American win it. It was J.J. Spaun who won it. His first major. He is a minority as far as ethnicity goes because his mother is Mexican and Filipino. His father is European, but he is an American born and raised, so we'll take it. I caught a little bit of this, like I said to you earlier on, Larry. What I liked about it was that there were no high scores. So nobody ran away with it. There was no, the winner was 18 under, second place was 16 under. Like this one, the course was tough. I believe JJ won at -2, -3, something like that. I can't remember. It was a low number. So congratulations to him. 3 different winners now with only one major to go. The next one is the Open, which is going to be in Ireland. We'll see if Rory can bounce back because he hasn't looked good in the last 2 majors after winning the Masters. Were you able to check out any of the U.S. Open on Sunday?
I was, man. Because it's funny because with the U.S. Open is always you get the shots. You know what I mean? It's not like only until like the last 2 competitors when they know who's going to have to be competing for the title. But for the most part, they just key into a lot of good shots. The guy hits the birdie or hits the eagle, and But like you were saying when we was texting, it's a very relaxing sport. It's very, if you just want to be mellow, chill out, very relaxing sport to be watching, man. If you want to watch golf. And as a kid, I hated golf because my father watched golf. And as a kid,
mine too.
It was the worst thing ever because he watched sports that is just, as a kid, it's boring. All you want to watch is cartoons. And then this dude is dominating, especially on Father's Day. He's dominating the TV. That's our time. So I really, really hated golf. I hated golf and I hated tennis. you know. And as I got older, I understood the scoring because for me, I need to know what the score is, and once I can follow the score, then I'm cool. You know, it has a different meaning when you understand exactly what the course means, what the how they score it, and it's a very difficult sport, by the way. You know, that we can't undermine how difficult golf really is. You know, especially when you say you have a tough course, and like you said, it was a great challenge because it was a tough course. So they did. It wasn't like they was just killing a course. So I thought it was very impressive how he won it. Um, it was a good match, man. It was good. It was good. I liked it.
Well, as someone who I haven't played in close to 10 years now, but you appreciate golf when you play golf.
Mhm.
When you go, watching it on TV before I ever played it, I'm like, this is boring AF, right? But then you go out to a driving range and your first shot and you swing right over the ball that didn't move. You're like, huh. And then, you take a lesson and you find out that your mechanics were completely wrong and you were swinging it like a baseball bat and you are not supposed to do that. Huh. Then they teach you how to lock your hands and you do the thumb and the pinky. And then you get on a real golf course and you're using those clubs and you are doing terrible. And it's taking you 8, 9, 10 shots to go from the
Oh,
tee to getting it in the hole, and you're already holding up people that are playing behind you by hole number 2, and the people who are in front of you when you teed off that you saw right after you teed off are now way ahead of you. You're like, oh, so this is slow play. I get it now. And then you watch golf on TV, you're like, these dudes are awesome. They're shooting in the 60s. What? I'm shooting in the 130s.
phew.
130s. Yeah. Yeah. But it gets you hit 2 good shots in a row, you're hooked. You're
Mhm.
hooked. It's like baseball when you get a good hit like a home run or something, how it just sounds different off the bat.
Yeah,
It's the same thing with
yeah,
golf. When you
yeah.
hit a good shot, it sounds different, it feels different, and you hit 2 in a row, you're like, I got it, I got my swing now, I got it. And that's all it takes. 2 good shots in a row and you're hooked. So Larry, you ever want to start playing?
I do. I do. I said I do. Come on,
I
father,
got
you
I
played
got
it.
I got a ton of clubs. So
Yeah.
I got clubs for you that you can play with. I would recommend getting a lesson like at Golf Galaxy or something like that.
Okay.
Start from the bottom so there's no bad habits to break. And then
Okay.
after the lesson, kill it at a driving range, go a couple times, get a basic swing down, and then we'll do nine holes at a,
I'm
at a
with it.
crappy golf course. It doesn't need to be a good one. At a
I'm
crappy
with it.
we'll do 9 holes if you don't want to do 18. And
Oh man, look, that sounds like a date, man. That sounds like a date, and that sounds like something that I need to get into because I'm not playing basketball like I used to.
mm-mm,
Um, I'm
that's
just
the
not.
thing. Don't leave you. All those other sports leave you. Golf doesn't leave you.
Yeah, yeah. So I need to get more active, and then it'd be fun, man. I always wanted to do it because it's a sport I never played. You
Mm-hmm,
know, I play handball, which is equivalent to playing tennis. You know,
mm-hmm,
I want to play tennis. I play racquetball. I
mm-hmm.
like racquetball. Racquetball's fast. But I
What
never played
about
golf.
what about this new one that's been popular the last couple of years?
Oh, you talking about the little fat
Pickleball. Pickleball. Pick,
pickleball? Yeah, I be seeing they got leagues and everything, man.
mhm,
Because we have a local park, y'all. We don't know in Delaware, it's a Glasgow, we have a park called Glasgow Park, and they
mhm.
actually have a pickleball court.
Tournaments.
I
Yeah.
say that thing is high. I've been watching it increase. Like every time I take my dog to go walking, I see more people, more people, more people, and I'm like, wow, that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean it's the same concept. It's a little bit more. I guess more easier to play.
It's a combination of
Was it cricket?
tennis and what do you call
Oh,
it?
tape. Was it
Ping pong.
ping pong?
Ping
Yeah.
pong. It's a combination of tennis and ping pong because you use a ping pong kind of racket,
Mm-hmm.
and it's doubles. You
And it's
you
double.
you
Yep.
you, you play in doubles. You have
It
a
looked
team,
like it
but
looked like a slow game, man.
Well, it's one of those games that you could be young and you can be old and you
Yeah,
can play it because you're not really covering a lot of ground. You're kind of in your one spot. Your back. If you're back right, then your partner is front left, or vice versa.
right.
It's like doubles tennis.
Like double tennis, y'all.
But yeah, I have a good friend. He was at my birthday party, my friend Will, and he's been doing tournaments for 2 years. And
Wow,
he lost like 35 pounds by
that's good
staying active,
exercise.
because he's in his early 50s and he was, overweight. He had been overweight for the last 25 years and he's still a little overweight, but 35 pounds is 35 pounds. Losing it the right way.
So I gotta get back to handball, man. That's a good exercise,
I
man.
used to play
I,
handball in elementary
yeah.
school.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun. It's eye coordination. It's a good workout.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely get a good workout doing it. And then when you get really good, it's just fun. It's
Yeah.
just fun. And when your hand get used to hitting that thing like pow.
Mm-hmm. And I was not using gloves and goggles and stuff like that. We were all out there hitting
I
against.
don't know about no gloves or goggles, man. That's just no hand and I don't know about all that, man. It was raw, you know.
Yeah, you and me,
Yes, sir.
for
All
sure.
right, man. So it's looking like moving on to the NHL Finals. I mean, you can't
Final.
final correction. Thank you. Right now, Florida's up 3-0. It's the end of the second.
It's over.
Hockey, one of the things I don't want to count it because I did this with basketball and it came back to bite me behind because I gave false narratives. So I'm not going to say anything, but it's 3-0 going into the third of the final period. And Florida's looking good, you know. But one thing about hockey, man, they can score goals in bunches. They really can. It has happened. It has happened in this series when they had look like a surmountable lead, and next thing you know, 3-3-3 real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, even though Florida does have probably one of the best goalies in the game under net.
Mm-hmm.
So in this type of scenario, closer is looking ominous for Edmonton to pull this off, honestly. And it's crazy that if Florida does win back-to-back champs, man, we're not even talking about that they went back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
That's not easy in hockey, man.
Mm-hmm.
So what we looking at here, bro? Marshawn's having a crazy series. What we talking about here, man?
Unstoppable.
Oh my goodness. Was that one of the best trades ever? Is that one of the best trades ever?
It's got to be. He's their leading goal scorer. Yeah, man.
I think he was happy when he got that trade from Boston all the way down there.
Yeah.
I believe he was.
He was with Boston a long time.
He was. And go to a championship team.
Mm-hmm. And he's leading them in score in goals.
Whew.
Yeah.
So,
he's a big guy.
He's not. He's small. He's a small guy.
Sniper.
He's small.
37 years old. He's no spring chicken. Not big, not young, but
and he played a center, and he's a center.
Yeah. Oh my God, he can play, and they have no answer for him.
No,
they have no answer.
No answer.
This kind of looks like Edmonton is tired.
Yeah,
he didn't have the energy in game 5.
Game 5, they got smashed.
Yeah,
6-1, they got smashed, and like you said, they had tired skates, man. It seemed like Florida was just a tad bit just more aggressive, more faster. They was just on a different speed. Championship mode. They played like they was a champion. And I think that if you notice at home, Edmonton just didn't have the same energy at home.
Yeah, and the crowd was into it.
Yeah, they were.
Inside, outside. I mean, they were bringing the juice, but they didn't have it, man. They were not in the same gear.
At all. So it looked like Florida might repeat.
Yeah. And instead of 7 games like last year, I think it's going to be in 6.
Yeah, 6. Yeah. Once again, we still have.
Wasn't that what I said, by the way? Didn't I say that?
You called it. You called it. You said it. You said Florida 6.
Florida in 6.
You called it. Y'all need to be tuning in, man, and subscribing, liking, because Gil be giving it. And I'm telling you, football season coming up, and I'm telling you, my man Gil takes it very serious because he ain't gonna smoke me this year. I promise he ain't smoking me this year. Last year was terrible. Terrible on the picks.
Well, last year was more you not keeping up versus
Yeah, it
me.
was me. It was me. It was me.
I did good the second half of the year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was me. I came out kind of good, and then it just bombed towards the middle of the season. It just got bad. You know, I got a new strategy, y'all. But I'm telling you, if you go with Gil's picks, for the most part, you're gonna be a winner, man. For all the gamblers, all the people that want to make some money, y'all need to stay in tune, okay? Because this is what we do: basketball, football, baseball.
We'll be doing a lot of off-season homework because once training camp starts rolling around, it's like you got the flavor of a Pringle all over again.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh!
That's peak season for us, man.
That's why they get ratings in preseason. Everybody complains about preseason. Oh, they don't play the starters and the games are so boring, blah blah. But you wait so long to see actual real football.
Oh yes.
In their actual uniforms, not practice uniforms. You
My
watch
God, man.
watch it.
You talking about relaxing, so great, right? This is that feeling of like, if I could describe this feeling, y'all, it's the feeling of like when you go to school as a kid, not high school, because that's when they take it all out. When you go to school when you was a kid and you had your new clothes, you know what I'm saying, and you had your new outfit, and you know how that air smell a little different that first day of school when you got all your new stuff on, your new backpack, and you're going to school to the bus stop, and it smells like this is a different smell. That's how I equate that preseason game, when football comes back. And I believe they keep trying to trim it down and rob us of it. And it's just not a good idea, in my opinion, for these people to be playing as soon as you get 1 game, 2 games, and then you wonder why so many injuries to key players.
Well, now preseason is 3 games.
Okay, so there's 3.
And then there's a bye week before week 1.
Okay, so it's 3. Last year, we had what? 1?
We had 3 last year.
3. I think we should have the 4, man. I don't think why I messed a good thing up. We always had 4. You had the first.
No, because what's going to happen is, when this current collective bargaining ends, they're going to add another regular season game. It's going to be 8. It's going to be 18 games. And they never want to start the season before Labor Day. So so everything just keeps pushing. And by doing that, the 18th game, I guarantee is a strong word. I think very strongly that they will add another bye week. So you'll be adding 2 weeks to the regular season.
But then they expanded because now we're, especially from what they did last year when they dipped into the NBA.
NBA. They totally effed the NBA on Christmas Day. Totally effed.
Yeah.
That used to be the NBA's day, not anymore. They're going to have 3 games again this year.
Man, that's crazy, man. You can't compete with the NFL. You can't compete with the NFL.
Can't. They know they get the ratings, and they don't care who they squash. Look at what's happening in the NASCAR. If they expand the season, NASCAR used to start the first weekend in February. Now they're starting the weekend in February. If they add 2 more weeks, it's not going to start till March.
Yeah.
And they don't care. They don't care that they'll have Thursday night games go up against the World Series in baseball. They don't care about that because they'll get higher ratings than whatever game in the World Series of baseball. They don't care. They don't care that. I mean, look, outside of like Tuesday, Wednesday, they're going to have a game every day of the week.
Every day of the week.
The season's going to start on a Thursday, which is going to be you guys.
You get the Friday game.
Then Friday, they'll play an overseas game.
Yep. But then you come with Sunday.
In December, they start doing Saturday games.
Yep. And then you always got Monday. And you're getting 2 teams on Monday.
You get 2 teams sometimes on a Monday, which makes not only that, they start like 15, 20 minutes apart. It's not like one starts 2 hours before the other. So you got to
NFL ain't playing, man.
And they're going to all these streaming services now. It's going to be Netflix again, Amazon Prime. They're all going to get in on it.
And you
All of them.
wonder why that them they get paid what they get paid, Jack.
That's the only thing I worry about with the NFL is that they're going to be like the Roman Empire. They're going to be too big for everyone else. No one else will be able to take them down, but they'll be greedy and they'll take down themselves.
Mm.
Not everybody's going to get a streaming service. Not everybody's going to do it. And eventually you're not going to get that high rating if you're not on NBC, regular cable TV or something like that. I know a lot of people that don't have, not so much Netflix, but like Amazon Prime. I know a lot of people don't have that. And then they're going to start going to Paramount Plus and things like that. I mean, that's not everybody. That's not everybody. So we'll see. You don't want to spread yourself out too thin, and then you're on almost every single day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. If it's bad weather on a Monday, they'll play on Tuesday.
Right, but you can't.
They did that during COVID twice. Twice they had rescheduled games for a Tuesday.
We gotta love football though, man. I don't know, man. I love me some football.
I'm addicted. It's my crack.
I'm addicted. I love this crack, right? And speaking of the other finals,
I had to correct you with the NHL because the NHL final came out before the NBA finals. So out of respect, you got to give the original.
Yeah, I'm not going to disrespect. I'm not going to be disrespectful, man, because that's how problems happen in the world, man. But disrespectful miscreants, man. Okay. The NBA Finals is you called it. You called this. I'm gonna let America know that he called it because Gil said whoever won game 4 was going to win the series, and we knew that Oklahoma won by 18. They won by 18. They went back home, handled business. Won by 18, right?
The Pacers.
Oh no, they was in
4. They were leading at half.
They were.
Let the lead get bigger going into the 4th, and then they stopped scoring in the 4th. And I think that's cost the series.
They won by 10. I think the Thunder won by 10 that game. They won by 10.
Yeah.
Yep. Because Shy turned on late.
Oh, he went crazy.
It took over. And it's crazy because the best player in the NBA, once again, is an international player.
The streak continues.
Canadian. Right? Mm-hmm. What's even more impressive is that the MVP this year is going to win the championship. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I love the way the Thunder are doing it because look at it. I'm going to give you some comparisons, man, and tell me if you agree or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're looking at what Jalen Williams is doing with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I could compare it to Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. I could compare it to Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, right? I could compare it to Isaiah and Joe Dumars. I could compare it to Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kobe and Shaq. Basically, what I'm saying is that you need that 1-2 punch. LeBron and Kyrie, you need that 1-2 because we already knew that the focus is going to come to the MVP as it should. You won the MVP. You're the leading scorer of the league, right? So obviously, I'm going to make a game plan for you. What they have not had a game plan for is number 8. Jalen Williams has dominated the series. He dropped 40 on them last night. Shy wasn't too shy. He dropped 31. Easy, smooth. This game is so smooth, man. But man, when you say a guy that you have no answer, he reminds me of Scottie Pippen, just bigger. Because he can defend. He can shoot the 3.
Mm-hmm.
He can take you to the cup and you can't do nothing about it, right? He's locking down your guy, right? He's assisting. He's getting the rest of the team involved.
Mm-hmm.
When he has a great game or a good game, they win.
Yeah.
We don't
win, and they usually win big.
They win big. So I'm looking for this next game, especially Halliburton got injured again. He's on a gimpy leg. McConnell stepped in. There's some questions today. Should the rotation been different? I can't fault Carlisle because
I want to ask you a question about
that.
And this is kind of more of a general question than specific with Halliburton. So when a star guts it out and he's clearly injured, but he's like, I'm gonna play, I want to play through it. 80% of me is probably better than 100% of whoever it would be filling my shoes. Maybe, maybe not.
Right.
How do you feel generally? I know case by case, it's you got to be more specific, but in general, how do you feel about a star who's injured, not hurt, injured,
Right.
but can still play? How do you feel about a star playing injured, trying to gut it out versus a backup player playing at full strength?
Oh man.
Because what I hear is people saying, "Oh man, he's trying to gut through it." And you got to give him credit.
Yeah. I
He's a star, and whatever he can give you is probably better.
no,
But what if
no,
it's not better?
no,
What if
no.
you see TJ?
McConnell. Yeah, TJ
If
McConnell
he
was
had
balling.
18 points, and Halliburton had 4.
4. See,
4.
once again, I get it because of the late heroics, and you don't want to be that guy to say, "Man, what if my star could have just gave me just a little this over the hump?" Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I can look from two perspectives. Okay, obviously, as a competitor, as a star, you want to be on that court. You don't want to be, you're going to take the shot. You're going to try to numb it up. You're going to try your best to get on that court to try to help your team. Now, I mean, it's valid. It's to be tip your hat, right? But you talking about a championship. You talking about where every game counts, every moment counts, right? So
Mm-hmm.
in this type of situation, especially if I got a guy that's coming in to give me production, right? Now I could see if we have a team where if this guy goes out and you go to the bench and you're not going to get that production off the bench. Like the guy, it's just the moment's too big for the bench player, and you're just going to lose a lot of production. This ain't the case though, right? So I thought that you go with the hot guy. It's no different in any game. It's not necessarily, let's say the star is not having a big game and he's going, let's say he's having a James Harden game, right? Where he's going out there and he's giving you 2 for 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you still stick with the guy hoping he catches fire, or do you go with the guy that came off the bench who's way more consistent and he's starting to chip at this lead, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, man. Sometimes you got to be able to go with your best players. You got to switch your lineup. You have to be able to make the adjustments because McConnell kept them in that game. TJ McConnell kept them in that game. They had no answer for TJ McConnell, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ride this horse till it gets tired, bro. I'm going to ride this horse till it gets tired. Because when Halliburton came back, yeah, he gutted it out. But for what? Y'all lost by 18. Because what he was not able to do is what? If you're 80%, that means you're losing your explosiveness, okay? So as a defender, I'm not worried about you killing me with the floater.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about you trying to blow by me, right? So technically, it's 5 against 4 because the only thing you can do is assist and maybe hit an open 3 if a joker kick out, kick out to you, right?
And he can't play
And I
defense.
can't play defense. So now I'm a liability once again, 5-on-4. So as soon as you come down hobbling, I'm going as a smart player, I'm taking advantage of that because I'm gonna blow by him and probably get the big in trouble. If the big don't step up, it's barbecue chicken all day, right? And if the big steps up, easy bucket for my man. So either which way how you look at it, to answer your question, I don't think it's a good idea for you to gut it out. I think it's more detrimental to your team by you doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand the competitor in you wants to be on the floor and wants to contribute, but you know your body, you can't go. And you know that you are hobbled, right? I'm pretty sure you're gonna do everything he can. He's gonna try everything he do to get on that court, but it's gimpy, man. It's gimpy. So I wouldn't even do it for game 6. I wouldn't do it, especially if I jump on that floor and I'm not me and I can't contribute the way I could contribute. I wouldn't want to do it because it's always going to be that if he was healthy, either way, it's still going to be the same narrative. If he was healthy, it would have probably been different. If he was, what if?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if you're on the court or on the bench, it's still gonna be the same question. You're not 100%.
I think you got to play the hot hand.
You got to. You
And
got to.
if your star player doesn't have it in the first half and your backup player is outplaying him, this is about the team. This is a championship is on the line. Let's facts over feelings.
Yes. Yes.
I think that's what you got to do.
I mean, look, man, if I was a coach, and I always hated that too about when I came playing like little league basketball and coming up in during them circuits, whatever, that the coaches always had they set players. They always had that guy because the hype is always going to be around that guy. There's always going to be some guys where the hype is coming in, where they like, oh man, basically, man, I give you the whole world. I give you the whole world, right? And I hated that, man. I hated that with a passion, man. Because I say if I was ever blessed with the ability to coach a team, my thing is this. If you make my squad, I believe in playing 12. I don't believe in playing just 5 or 7-man rotation. I believe you're good enough to make my team as a 12, right? We all need to be ready to play, right? Because I'm saying I could start this starting 5, but my rotation ain't right. These dudes, egos, they're not playing. They're jumping on the court playing like prima donnas. They're not giving me the energy. They're not giving me the effort. So why am I going to go down with a sinking ship because you are a prima donna, because you think that you've been blessed with this gift of basketball, you're not going to put the work in. No, sir. I'd rather go ahead and stub all that whole 5 out. I'm going to put this whole 5 in. You know what I mean? That's going to give me everything I want. I don't care how we lose a game, as long as you give me the effort. As long as you give it all on the floor, I have no problems with how the outcome is. What I won't do is have a joker. When this dude making a layup, you lob him back. No. Like New York Knicks. You're getting killed with basic baskesketball. You laying it up and they're sprinting back on you, killing you. If that was me, I'm taking that whole 5 out, man. You ain't trying to play. Hey, clear my bench. Come on, right? Be prepared to play. And for me, it'd just be a rotation thing because I think strength by numbers, if I could wow you, because if I have 12 conditioned people, right, I'm going to blow your 5 out the water because I could sub. I could keep subbing. I'm going to get fresh bodies, and they're all giving me production. How you going to beat me?
Plus, more fouls to give.
Thank you. Right? Because, I mean, look, if you made 12, that means 20, 30 tried out for the team. It wasn't like just I have 15 people and I just had to make the team. No. By the time I figured I got my 12 is because these dudes really could play ball. You get what I'm saying? These 12 dudes really could play ball. I got 2 big men. I got 3 guards. I got some forwards, and they really all of these dudes could play. So it's not especially we talking about team. It ain't no I in this thing. It's we. And I think if you can establish that, like I love it because Oklahoma City, the dude rotated. You know what I mean? That's why they're killing them because the moment ain't too big for them. This is the finals we talking about, brother.
And they're all contributing.
Why? Because it's been this way all year. It's been this way all year.
The stars still be stars, but if you have 12 active players, why not use 12 guys?
Why not use them, Gil? We're looking at it, Gil. We're looking at the this superpower don't work. The super team, we're killing that notion of a super team. When these dudes is linking up, it hasn't worked. Okay. When these dudes, these big prima donna players say, "Oh, I'm gonna go to Philly with Embiid. It's gonna be me.
I'm gonna go to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the Clippers.
I'm gonna go to Miami." Yeah, and you get beat by Dallas. You get beat by Dallas, who didn't have a star.
For a team,
right? You get beat by San Antonio.
Because they
didn't have a superstar per se. You can say Duncan, yeah, but he wasn't quote unquote the superstar. It was a super team they beat you. You know what I mean? And I'm saying every time that happened, right, bro? Why? Because you need bench players. You need glue players. You need veterans to mix in with these young people. And what's even more impressive about OKC is that it's only one dude I could say is really like a veteran on that team, and that's Caruso. It's a young
And he's
team,
good.
but he's good because he brought an element that you needed. If you see who I believe is the most valuable player on that team, to me was Caruso.
Well,
Because what he
he ain't
brought.
gonna get it.
Oh no. Shi's getting it. I think Jalen Williams should get the MVP, honestly. Because I thought that he had, but they're gonna give it to Shy because Shy has have a
They'll give it
consistent.
to him because
I mean, it's
he's the
consistent.
best player, and when they win, he goes for over 30, and
Yeah, yeah,
he's gonna get it.
yeah.
So game 6 is on Thursday
Thursday.
in Indianapolis.
Yes.
How do you see that going?
Man, when Indiana, I mean, when OKC has closeout games, they destroy the opponent. They destroy the opponent. I mean, both the closeout games in the had was at home, so that was different. But the only team that was able to challenge them and make them go to a 7 was Denver. And I thought Denver team was better than Indiana's team.
Me too.
So I see it being I see it being a blowout, honestly.
A blowout in game 6?
Yeah, I see him getting spanked. I see him spanking them on Indiana's own home court.
I think if Indiana somehow, some way can win on Thursday, then I think OKC wins in a blowout game 7. But I don't think Indiana's going to win.
I don't either.
I think they'll keep it close all game. 6 points, 8 points, 10 points, 12 points, back to 6. But I think ultimately in the fourth quarter, you can tell with Siakam, even Siakam playing well, he's not enough.
Yeah. They're going to need, for Indiana to win this game, they're going to need a guy that you don't see contributing like that. Because in game 2 it was Mathurin. Mathurin had 27 off the bench. There's going to be a guy like maybe Neesmith or a Nemhard. There's going to be one of them type of guys who's going to have a big game for them to be able to push it to a 7, in my opinion.
Well, role players usually play better
at home.
Than they do on the road. So some of those bench guys might get going and just give them enough to squeak by.
But you know who I think might have a big game? Holmgren, because he hasn't had one yet. I think that they'll try to find a solution to Jalen Williams. I don't think you're going to stop him. I still think he's going to get about 20 something. Shy going to do Shy, so Shy going to get at least 27 to 30. You're not stopping him, is he at all? But I think that Chet will have a big game. If Chet goes for, let's say, 20 and 10, you're not beating him.
It's over. Yeah, then it's over.
You're not beating him.
No, because then you'll have a big 3 and
yeah.
No. Yeah. So I think it ends on Thursday. I think OKC wins it. I said after game 3 when the Pacers were up 2-1, I said I think OKC wins in 6. I said even though they're down 2-1, I think they win the next 3. And I'll be right if they win on Thursday.
You will be.
I'm not saying that's what I want. I'd rather it go 7 games, but I think that's what's going to happen. I think OKC is the better team now that the best player, all-around player on the Pacers is injured. He's not just hurt; he's injured. Can't happen. I just don't see it going. I don't see it happening.
I don't either.
I'm disappointed, but I would have liked it to be a game 7. Whoever wins. But I think it's going to end in Indianapolis. And I think you said the same thing. Real quick before we leave the NBA in general, what do you think? I mean, I kind of know what you think, but I want to hear you say it. What do you think about the Knicks not getting permission from all these coaches that they want to interview? Kind of feels like they fired a guy and didn't really have a plan. That's how I see it.
Once again, man, I'm not surprised, man. My Knicks are, oh my goodness, man. Knicks, this is never fails. You shoot we just do dumb stuff notoriously, okay? Like we just recently got over the stupid owners and GM tag, because we always just messed up everything. It started from the Carmelo thing when we traded the whole team off to get one player who was an ISO player, right? And then after that, the Phil Jackson era, which just was atrocious, you know. Um, it's typical New York, man. You jump the gun, you fire a guy, which I'm not saying they should have kept Tib. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying how you fire a guy without having the next guy in place. I was just swore it was going to be Mike Malone. Shoot, if you fire him, bring Mike Malone, then it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm. Have they even asked permission to talk to Mike Malone? All these people that they're trying to talk to are still employed by other teams,
Yeah.
and the teams are saying no, not the coach himself. The teams are saying no, we're not giving you permission. He's under contract.
Freaking dumb New York Knicks, man. Dumb New York Knicks, man. Just dumb.
Dolan,
Dumb.
Dolan, and York.
Oh
Ugh.
my God, man. So I just think it's stupid, and I think it's dumb, and I think that he just jumped the gun once again, without a plan, and obviously not a plan. And then they hear reports that Kevin Durant had wanted to go to New York, but they said that and it could be wrong, could be a false narrative, but they said they didn't want him. What? But you want a cat, and you didn't want Kevin Durant? I don't care about all that emotional stuff for Kevin Durant. I don't care what that is all about. That's 27 points a game he giving you, bro. And he's unstoppable. He's unstoppable, right?
Still. But the Knicks right now don't have the
We
assets to
don't.
make a
We
trade.
don't. We don't.
After this last trade that happened a couple days ago, where they're giving up 4 unprotected first round picks.
For
What do you think?
Mikal
What do you
Bridges.
think Durant is going to be worth?
Oh, that's what they was talking about on first take about that we gave up 4 first round picks for Mikal Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
No different what my Orlando just did to get Desmond Bain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I'm not taking enough from Desmond Bain. I think he does expand them, he does hit the 3. But 4 first round picks for that guy?
4
He's
unprotected.
not even an all-star.
Yeah.
You're tripping. You're tripping. Not saying, it obviously could pan out, in their favor. It could be low ball picks and you ain't no value on the picks, but still, you don't know that. At this point, 4 picks for this guy? That's telling me I'm going to the chip. Only I'm giving up 4 picks for this guy. It has to be a player where I feel like it's a Giannis, where I have the potential of going to the championship and win it. Mm-hmm. Not a guy who I feel is like, okay, well, we was a first round team. We might make it to the second round. Might. He's not going to take me to no championship.
Mm-hmm.
Even if
I think the feeling is the East is wide open because the Celtics are going to be compromised next year. So that's a big time. Cleveland, paper champion.
Paper champion. Philly, who knows? They go where Embiid goes. And then Embiid goes back and actually want to dominate the league, then I like Philly chances. If he comes back and say, all right, I'm gonna dominate the league. I cried for my MVP. Now let me play and let me go get this championship. If he come with that mentality, I think they could do it.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do it because I think it would have been done already. He's not his body is aging fast.
Mm.
He's breaking down every year. He plays a light schedule and he still breaks down. No, I don't. I got to see Philly be good before I pick them to be good.
New York?
Who's their coach?
Yeah.
Who's their coach?
Man,
they're good, but I don't really see great. Not Miami.
Not Miami. Chicago's on the up, but no, not Chicago. So we talking about Indiana again?
Detroit.
And Detroit is on the uprise. I could say Detroit. I could put Detroit in the top 14. Maybe. I could put Detroit there.
What about Orlando?
I could put Orlando there because they do have core pieces. They definitely do. I gotta put Orlando up there.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get into Major League Baseball. Had a big trade the other day. Rafael Devers goes from Boston to San Francisco.
Wow.
He was their best hitter on the year so far. He's got a 272 average with 15 home runs and 58 RBI.
Wow.
And I've heard a few things, and it always seems to be the same. I heard Steve Phillips, former GM of the New York Mets, say not once, not twice, but 3 times voluntarily said that Devers is not a good teammate.
Mm.
Reason that they're saying this is they brought in a few players this offseason. Devers' natural position is third base.
Mm-hmm.
He is a below average defensive third baseman. So let's start there. But that's his position. And this year they moved him to DH. He complained about it, but did it. And then the talk was they're going to try and move him to first base, and he said flat out no. And then they traded him.
Okay, so he's not willing to take the adjustments for the team.
Right.
Okay.
Right. They're saying he's being selfish and this
Well,
and
that sounds selfish.
so I want to ask you, do you agree with that narrative? Number one, and then I have a backup question after that. Do you agree with that? Do you think that a very good to great player, at least offensively, should have been traded because he was being forced to move out of his natural position because of the new players that they brought in this year?
Oh man, once again, if it's about the team, it was about the team and make a sacrifice for the team, then yeah, to the course of that narrative, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of you. You know what I mean? Because we're not on top of the division right now. It's not like I'm losing a guy where we're competing with the Yankees for the division. You know, yeah, I mean they swept them.
Yeah,
They
they
swept
keep beating the Yankees though.
us. Yeah, they swept us. You swept us, but outside of Yankees, you're not dominating the league. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If it's about the team, then yeah, you don't want that type of individual because it sends a message to the team. It's all about you and your numbers and your position. You know, so for me, I would want to be part of a team, not individuals, because that's gonna make it's gonna bring bad tension in the locker room. So if I could get rid of a cancer to the locker room, right? Cool. But on the flip side of that equation, it's like if this dude is positioned at third, he doesn't feel comfortable going to first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why tax him for that? That I can look at it from that angle. Is it really selfish, or is I'm just not comfortable? I can't make that adjustment because that's two different positions right there. So a lot of heat coming over there to that first base. You feel me? So it's not like it's an easy adjustment from third to one. You know, it's just not. You play baseball, right? You ever play baseball?
I mean, not on a team, but I mean,
But yeah, I haven't played. I always played outfield, so I only imagine what the infield is going for.
I
I
played
know
third
a lot of
base.
action
When I
is
played, I
going
played
for
third base.
first. I know a lot of action going to first. You know what I'm saying? So on that case, I mean, hey, he got traded to a team that is a good team. He got traded to San Fran. They're having a good year this year.
They are
So
having a
for
good.
him, it works out.
All right, so but the thing is, your reputation goes in the toilet
It
because
does.
being a team guy, and it's you're being referred to by professionals, former GMs, as a bad teammate.
But it might have been in that, sometimes it might have been the team in the situation because he could go out to San Francisco and he could rewrite his narrative, or he could discredit that narrative. But it doesn't help him coming into that ball club with that reputation because I'm gonna be on edge until I gotta fill you out.
Mm-hmm.
I got to fill you out before I can embrace you.
Well, okay. So here's the second part I wanted to ask you. I'm going to play devil's advocate with this question. So you're kind of leaning towards they should have made the trade for both parties, right?
Yeah.
That's how I took it. And he's being referred to negatively as a bad teammate, which is why they traded him. So then why was Derek Jeter not referred to as a bad teammate when they brought over Alex Rodriguez? Because Alex Rodriguez, his natural position was shortstop.
It was.
Coming to the team, Jeter didn't want to move, so they moved A-Rod to third base. Alex Rodriguez was a better defensive shortstop than Derek Jeter was.
I
So
believe.
how come they never accused Jeter of being a bad teammate because he didn't want to move over?
Um, Probably because he was already stamped in Yankee lore by the time Rodriguez came over. You know what I mean? Like he was stamped. He was Mr. Yankee, man. So I believe that's what that was all about. You know, yeah, he could have probably took, he probably could have made the move, but he was already established in New York at that position. So Rodriguez was adaptable. He was adjustable. He could come in and play the third, obviously. You know, I just think that's what I would say is because that was his team. The Yankees was his team. Even though they paid a lot of money to get Alex Rodriguez, and he definitely contributed to our team and made it better. But I just think because it was already established, he had established a position as shortstop for the Yankees. That's why they didn't consider him a bad teammate.
I mean, yeah, at the time I felt the same way. He's the captain. He had already won 4 championships.
Mm-hmm.
A-Rod didn't win any, but it was also known that Alex Rodriguez was a better player than Jeter. Better offensively, better defensively. But he's the one that had to go move and play a different position. Where Devers is arguably was the best player on Boston, definitely offensively. Right. And because he didn't want to move, he gets labeled bad teammate.
But then I'm like looking at Devers, was he established himself as Mr. Boston though? You dig what I'm saying?
No, not like that. He wasn't loved like that, but he was brought up through their farm system.
Their farm system, right.
So he was a lifer to that point.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's like, we pick and choose. If it's a player we love, then oh no, the new guy the new people have to do different positions. But if it's not a player we love, oh, he's being selfish. He's not thinking about the team. Let's be honest. When it comes to professional sports, they're all thinking about themselves.
Of course.
Team sport, yeah. But they're all when these guys are holding out and they want a new contract and things like that, they're not thinking about the team. They're thinking about themselves.
They're thinking about themselves.
Life as a pro is 10 years on the average, whatever sport it is. Mm-hmm. Some it's 15 or more, some it's 5 or less. You know what I'm saying? So when it's time to get paid or you to be in position for you to be at your best for your next contract, you have to be selfish. At times, you do. You have to be selfish.
Them owners is being selfish.
What's that?
Them owners is being selfish. Shoot, they ain't taking the back seat.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I'm not. I didn't follow this. I don't know Devers like I knew Jeter, but I just kind of feel like it's they're moving the goalposts on this one. That's just how it felt for me. Let's get into WWE real fast. So injury update. Liv Morgan got injured on Monday Night Raw. High ankle sprain. She's probably going to be out for a couple weeks. Asuka came back.
Okay.
R-Truth came back, which makes me think he never really left because he was only gone 2 weeks. But he's coming back as Ron Killings.
Ron Killings.
His actual name, and
they actually start. They actually start to get the storyline for him. They start the alter ego of Ron Killings. So, R-Truth was his funny side. Ron Killings is his serious side. So that's how they're billing it. And John Cena's becoming that buffer for him to come in as Ron Killings.
Yeah.
So I'm liking his little. It's cool. It's cool.
I like it, and he's interfering with John Cena, but he's not Not like he's gonna get the title from him.
No. It's definitely not getting the title from him. But it's a good storyline for him to keep within WWE.
Mhm.
Um, um, at least he has a storyline. Whereas I'm sure you're about to get to Jey Uso and just I mean, it went dry, man, and they definitely didn't have a contingency plan after he won that belt.
Mhm.
So because Gunther, as we know, Gunther has won the belt again, you know. And what Jay even have what 2 months?
He had it 50 something days.
Wow, that's
I
disrespectful.
heard I heard his father Rikishi on another podcast, and he was pissed. He was like, they would never do this to John Cena. They would never do this to Randy Orton. What did you expect when you don't have a storyline for him?
Yeah,
Not like he doesn't have the juice or the fans or anything like that. It's like you put him out there to fail,
yeah,
basically. So there's probably some truth in that. But I told you 2 weeks ago, if Gunther is not a champion,
yep.
he's kind of irrelevant.
Hmm.
To me, Jay Uso doesn't need to be a champion to still bring the juice.
That's a fact. So
So
that's probably how they looked at it,
I think
And
it's business, really.
and I want to give an update to our people who's going to be watching this. 5-0 with 5 minutes left. I don't see Edmonton picking up 6 goals in 5 minutes. So it's safe to say I think Florida's going to win another one.
Yikes. Well, congratulations, Florida. We'll
Yeah,
congratulate them more next week.
yeah,
Um, and Goldberg came back and he's challenging Gunther at Saturday night's main event, which is going to be in Atlanta.
yeah.
Uh,
His home place. Yep, his own place, and he'll lose.
he'll lose.
He'll
It's a
lose.
retirement match, so he's obviously not going to win.
No.
Gunther's hot right now, so
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He's not gonna lose his old behind Gunther. I mean, old behind Goldberg, man. He ain't losing that old veteran, that old senior citizen, man. That ain't happening, man.
I,
You
I
know,
agree with that, but I want to see it. I'm interested. I want to see. Goldberg usually has these fast matches, whether he
he
wins
does.
or loses.
He
They're
does.
like 5 minutes or less. I want to see Gunther actually drag it out a little bit.
The ring generale.
Um, I got a couple of movie recommendations,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you got a couple of docu series real fast. Movie recommendation I saw recently was The Accountant 2.
Mm-hmm.
That was on Amazon Prime. I liked it. I thought it was better than I had anticipated. Still not as good as the original, but good. A good sequel. And the one that I really like was a Predator, Killer of Killers on
I want to
Hulu.
see it.
That's an animated movie. Awesome.
It's an animated movie.
Animated.
Okay,
No, not it's anime. It's an anime.
anime,
Oh, so good.
and it's on what's on?
Hulu.
I don't got Hulu, man. I'm
Oh,
mad.
you better get it, brother. Get that free trial or
They
something.
got a free trial.
You better get it.
I need to
Get
get the
it
free
for a
trial.
month and get rid of it. Get
Yeah.
it, get it, get it. I know you had two docu-series recommendations. They were
Well, one was actually an interview. One interview was with the RZA from Wu
okay.
Tang Clan is on Drink Champs. Very good interview. It's a 4-hour interview. A lot of information when it comes to hip hop. And also, I watched the Dale Earnhardt docu series. Very, very informative, especially from a person that didn't understand the backstory of NASCAR. It made me look at NASCAR totally different to the point now I will actually watch NASCAR because I have more insight on how the races. It ain't just them running around the circle. It is some strategy to that. So that's why I'm like, okay, cool. Now I know when an aggressive driver is and what it's just different. It hits different. And I thought it was a very, very good job. They did a very good job, man. Very good job, man, for with the legend. So he's a legend. And I highly recommend that y'all watch it, especially for the people who don't know about NASCAR. Definitely gotta watch it. And it's on I want to say it's on Max. I want to say it's on Max.
You could just Google.
We'll just
You
Google.
Google
Yeah,
and find out
Google
what
it.
I've gone past it a few times. They're not going to tell me anything I don't already know about Dale Earnhardt. So maybe I check it out, maybe I don't. But I watched almost his entire career right up until he died. So I know all about the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt. I watched him when he had the blue and yellow Wrangler card before he went to the black one, the good wrench. But anyway, want to thank everybody for tuning in. You can catch us next Tuesday at 9:30 on the Box Office Buzz channel. Want to thank everyone for hitting like and subscribe. Tell a friend, and we'll catch you next week right here on the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast. From a main man, Larry Loper, I'm Gil Irizarry. Deuces, y'all. Catch you next week.
All right, partner.